variety in the team compositions. As we head into Samoa here, looks like we're going to be starting on the downtown map.
Yep, and as you did point out, downtown is one of those maps where you could avoid playing that kind of brawlier composition. You could be playing something that coordinates with a dive better or something that allows for poke, because there is that really good high ground towards that coast side where you could sit comfortably and do that kind of poke. And as we look at what both of these teams come out, we're already seeing some interesting tank picks from both sides.
Yeah, Tactical Yokers. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them roll out on the Orisa. Orisa making a little bit of a comeback in the meta here. On the side of Nemesis, rolling out on the Reinhardt. Although Reinhardt might not be meta, Reinhardt's definitely a favored tank among most tank players. So let's see if Nemesis opts to stick with this Reinhardt. Looks like they will be keeping it. Excellent. So both teams rolling out on the Cass Reaper DPS lineup. Reinhardt for Nemesis, Orisa for Yokers. So that means Yokers is going to want to take a little bit more space. You don't want to fight in the hammer range of this Reinhardt. Both teams meeting now on point in downtown Samoa.
Yeah, Neon moves, just waiting for that rig to engage onto the team as Tactical Yokers just try to back off with that Lucio speed, making these accurate rotations, and with that pick onto Warlord, that's less damage for Nemesis, and that just means Neon Moose has to slightly back off and play their shield and HP pool a bit better, but that pick onto the speedy Lucio just might be the opening for Nemesis, but as they're cornered by Jangus, that's a great pick from them. This point might be turning over to the side of Tactical Yokers at the end of the day with these follow-up picks from FTB, and that just seals finally at the end of the day for the point to Tactical Yokers just getting these stragglers at the end of the day.
Yeah, although Nemesis able to find the pick onto Combat Wombat early there, Tactical Yokers doing a really good job using the Orisa cooldowns to isolate targets from Nemesis so that the Kiriko and Juno backline aren't able to get heals onto them. And that's exactly how you want to play if you're playing this Orisa. Orisa can survive so long in fights that she can actually put herself into danger using her cooldowns to isolate targets and confirm kills.
Spin already committed by Jangus just to pressure off the Nemesis squad as they continue to push in with this ring, as the Reaper just constantly pushing forward with this Warlord, and that's an aggressive angle taken by Aden Games. They need to back off. Window committed by Stillcold, try to poke off that all the damage on the Reinhardt, just keeping Jangus alive, and that is just enough to keep them at bay. And with the window finally expired, that allows for Nemesis to maybe re-engage on the point, but they've opted to just isolate the Orisa instead, who's running very low, and that is a great pick by Nemesis. That allows them to easily take the point, especially with that very stylish flourish from Neon Moose, and that pick after pick, that just seals the deal with all the blue on the screen, and Nemesis finally takes the point with Tactical Yokers only capping to 59%.
Yeah, unfortunate for Jangus there. Gets isolated on the other side of a wall. Stillcold no longer has the LOS, so the Baptiste not able to keep their tank alive in that. And Nemesis, they didn't have to use any ults there. So Nemesis has all of their ultimates online, really strong ones on their support ults. Tactical Yokers, though, they only committed the window, so they're coming back with ult of their own.
Yeah, Blizzard committed by Rootin' Tootin' gets one, but that's only just enough. High Noon also committed, but with these two DPS ults, that's just not enough to stop the flow from the side of Nemesis, having committed Bob and, well, both support ults. But as I say that, there's up to be trades from the side of Tactical Yokers. Rootin' Tootin' manages to get Alex Zero, but I think with everyone else on the team down, that just is not enough for them to take the point. Nemesis still holding pretty strong and re-engaging with a full 5 as Nemesis ought to continue fighting on the point even when they're down players. Baptiste manages to get the Neon Moose, and with them down, that's less pressure on the point for Nemesis, ultimately flipping the point back to Tactical Yokers.
Like you mentioned, Thorium, you could have swapped, you could have backed up if you were Nemesis there. Both supports were out of the fight. Neon Moose was so low on that Reinhardt, so unfortunately for Nemesis, Tactical Yokers capitalizing on that opportunity, pushing onto the point, still holding onto their own tank ult, and Combat Wombat has the beat as well.
Jangus pushes in using the Orpheus ultimate, hoping to get value. Gets one Lucas. It's a great pick from the side of Nemesis. That just means there's no more speed for Neon Moose to re-engage, but Warlord with this Blossom could create that opening in the backline with maybe a simple TP, but opts not to do that instead, waiting for Lucas to come back onto the point before they re-engage. But with 93% on the clock, Nemesis does need to touch, and it looks like you see Neon Moose keeping in back and forth, and with that TP in by Warlord. They managed to get FTB. That's less pressure onto the team of Nemesis. And looking for this Blossom, they are committed. Gets at least one combat wombat down from the fight. Still withholding beats, so this is just going to easily flip off the side of Nemesis. And I think if you are Tactical Yokers, that is a definitely fine trade. You still have that Lucio beat, that Baptiste window to re-engage in that next fight. And for Nemesis, there really isn't much to work with. You're just hoping that Ashe and Juno build towards their ults.
Yeah, excellent play from Warlord, TPing into the backline of Tactical Yokers, finds the first pick onto FTB, and then proceeds into the support line with their Blossom. So good play from the Reaper to flip this point back over in Nemesis's favor. But like you said, Tactical Yokers coming in with ults.
Yeah, window committed by Still Cold, and they are not cold at all, landing all these shots, forcing a raid out of Warlord, and just playing this natural cover as they regain the health of Jangos and everyone else on the team. And with this time ticking, Rooted Tooted is just looking for that opening to use that Blossom. But with that good fire strike and that maybe keeps them alive, no, that's just not enough. The damage from Rooted Tooted is too much, along with this fall up from the high noon of FTV, Bob committed by Add-in Games. But it seems like it might not be enough to continue the stalling point. And with the picks slowly going back and forth between both of these teams, it's just a matter of figuring out if these teams can isolate and pick a target to finally melt down. FTV gets that pick on him to Alex Hero, and the Juno ult committed by Lucas just to keep this point alive and in their favor. Pin committed, Rooted Tooted down, Shatter! Oh, guess what? Still Cold cannot heal for the team anymore and help, and you know, it's only up to Combat Wombat to just stall this point, but there really isn't much you could do, and ultimately the point flips towards the side of Nemesis.
Ooh, really close Samoa map to start out week 5 for the rookie division. Huge play from Neon Moose there. They push in with the Juno ult, able to get a pin onto Rootin' Tootin' and take the Reaper out of the fight early. And then the follow-up with the solo Shatter, taking out the DPS line for Tactical Yokers. Really well played by the support and the tank of Nemesis to use their ults effectively, and yeah, find some picks onto Tactical Yokers here. So we're heading into Beach, taking a look at the wildlife.
And the silly little guy, the silly little crabs, they're just having a really good time along the beach. But right now, who's having a good time is Nemesis, leading 1-0 in this current matchup for Samoa. And you're just hoping Tactical Yokers manage to flip this around at the end of the day. Both teams running still that same composition, but Tactical Yokers opting to take their room and play an actual natural cover, while Nemesis want this slightly open area to allow their Ashe to poke from a distance. Neon Moose already dropping below, all committed by Rootin' Tootin', forcing out a lab from Alex Hero, and I think that's such a huge cooldown loss from them, as Neon Moose has to fight for their life with the shield as it's slowly dropping down. And Jago's just really focusing all that damage onto them to break the shield. Speed committed by Lucas, and with that, I think that's a sign for the Reinhardt to just go in, but not much going in is happening with the Reinhardt opening to play at the lower ground, and that manages to get Jagus in the process, a charge in, hoping to get one more pick. And well, for Tactical Yokers, I think that's just a sign to back off, especially with that final kill onto the Mei and your Orisa down.
Neon Moose has built up to a Shatter already. I don't know if Tactical Yokers is going to be prepared for this one. On the side of Tactical Yokers, though, Still Cold going to have that window available soon. If Tactical Yokers can make some space and get themselves set up in a position where Still Cold can use that window, the Orisa can walk through, the heals through the window onto the Orisa should be able to sustain this tank through the entire fight.
Yeah, Neon Moose posturing towards the door, having this Shatter waiting to use it, but with their HP dropping very low, and Alex Hero also dropping, that might be an opportunity for just Tactical Yokers to push in. Added Games managing to get Rooted Tootin' at, well, very low, just means that there really is no more chance for Nemesis to continue pushing this point unless they do opt for a stall. And at this point, I think it's just time to go back with your Reinhardt down, with FTB taking those final set of picks along the way. So Tactical Yokers turning this over just shy of 50% from the side of Nemesis.
Interesting swap on the side of Tactical Yokers. We see Rootin' Tootin' swapping over to the Soldier. So Tactical Yokers is going to be running a double hit scan composition here. Nemesis coming back in. Neon Moose still has that Shatter. They're going to have both support ults online here. The Juno ult could be massive. Starting out with the Bob onto the point. Oh, runs right across the point.
No, but that's exactly what the Bob running across the point means. They takes an off angle, allowing this open area of the point to be accessible for Nemesis. But hiding committed by FPV gets one and gets two, following that with a silly right click. But Judo ult committed by Lucas, and that just might be enough to keep them alive. If Lucas can stay alive, Alex Hero gets that final pick, and with Neon Blues just swinging around, trying to get this Orisa and the support still alive, this might be winnable for Nemesis. I say that with that committed, that just forces out the cooldown, and you're hoping Alex Hero just continues staying alive and you get Jangos in the process. Rooted Tootin finally down, and I think this is a point flip for Nemesis with, you know, just shy of 56% for Tactical Yokers.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth here. It's good to see the soldier for the side of Tactical Yokers, Rootin' Tootin', building up to that visor. It's kind of tough to go into the Reinhardt shield with the double hit scan, but see, as I say that, Nemesis, they're going to make a swap over to the soldier as well, opting to mirror the soldier and swap over onto the tracer. So Nemesis looking to take lots of angles here, try to capitalize on the double hit scan, triple hit scan if you count the Baptiste, as Tactical Yokers push out onto the point here.
It looks like Numos is looking for a shatter, hoping to get this lamp, and finally this might just be the opening. Gets two! Again, that's a huge shatter for Nemesis that actually ends pretty much the fight for Tactical Yokers. For them, they really just need to reset, go back to spawn, and really just retake this as a group, because staggering any further on the point just dwindles the progress. 88% on the board for Nemesis, and with these picks along the way, you might kind of wonder who from Tactical Yokers will have to touch the point, with Jangos dying pretty late.
Yeah, Jangus dying pretty late. Combat Wombat won't have the rollout. You gotta hope that your Soldier 76 gets the touch, and he does.
Yeah, touch committed by Rootin' Tootin', just enough to stall the point with follow-up from a Combat Wombat, who is still touching back and forth the point from the low ground, with Jangos, just right behind him. But as that is happening, everyone else from the side of Tactical Yokers is slowly dropping, with Lucas just finally getting still cold, Neon Moose getting Jangos, and at the end of the day, that just is a pulse onto Combat Wombat. I didn't even know Warlord swapped to Tracer, but at the end of the day, that is still a pick that seals the deal. Nemesis taking Samoa from Tactical Yokers.